Joining us today is Mr. Praveen Kumar, who has completed 30 years at HPCL. He is currently the principal at HP Management Development Institute. At HPMDI, he and his team are passionately involved in providing best-in-class learning and development programs to their officers to enable them to be a game changer in the rapidly changing oil and gas business and creating HPCL as the most preferred energy brand. Welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to have you amongst us today.
Thank you. It's an honor for me too. Thank you for giving me this an opportunity to represent what we do and how we do and what we think about L&D, in particular in context of oil and gas sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Praveen Ji, for taking out this time and then scheduling this session with us. So, sir, my first question is, with your experience, what are your views on learning? And how could learning objectives be designed in order to make sure that the business is making most of the process?
Yeah, it's a good question, Anuradha, to start with. How learning has been changing over a period of time, and particularly this COVID has brought in a tectonic shift, if I were to say, in the all aspects of our business life, and that includes L&D. At least I would say in perspective of, like, we are basically oil and energy company, and this basically fall in the domain of brick and mortar company. So there we used to have more focus on organization focused learning, and it used to be more so in a traditional classroom of learning. Though we had a learning LMS platform, but emphasis was more and more on classroom learning, and that was but till this COVID happened, and then we were forced to look into how do we meet this new challenge, and then we really looked at our LMS portal, and we had a good content nevertheless, but we had a relook, and then we encouraged our employees, and employees also were looking forward as to how they energize themselves, how they relearn, how they reskill, and how they are ready to face these challenges. Because unlike many other industries, you probably would have said that many industries probably could, like say a manufacturing company, say automobile, probably they might have closed down the shop. But for us, that was not the option, because we had to deliver LPG to run the kitchen of our countrymen, and then to fuel ensure that a supply line of fuels are restored and continued so that vehicles run. And so in that challenge, what we did, that we came out with a lot of learning, and we developed a pull and push mechanism. What was that pull and push? Pull was that, okay, we came out with such programs where employees were looking forward to learn, and they thought that that will add value. And push was that what was required from the corporate angle, and those, like say, safety program and wellness program and those things. And that really helped us to come out with this wonderful challenge. And what we did also, that we gave a lot of focus on well-being, because we always believe as a company that the well-being of our employee is of paramount importance. And so whatever we did, we made sure that in spite of the fact that we had to run our refineries, we had to run our retail outlets, we had to run our LPG plants, we made sure that employees' well-being was taken at the core of our business. And in fact, and that helped us to come out with a wonderful all kind of programs. And what we did, in fact, all along we have been focused on, we had some programs based on AI and VR, artificial intelligence, VR, virtual reality based programs, particularly on safety. So we rolled out much more, we gave much more emphasis on that. And then also what we did is that we asked employees, tell us what you want to do. And anyway, we had a tie-up with Institute of Excellence like IITs, IIMs. So we rolled out programs with the help of them, apart from many other learned faculty, our own subject matter experts. So all that helped. So I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely,
Anuradha?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So yes, we do understand this new scenario of COVID, right? This has brought up a lot of challenges, and I'm sure your organization must have the thing that employee well-being itself, it brings a lot of positive attitude and the positive aspect of how a company works. So thank you so much for that, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what I'll say that, see, in our L&D perspective now, over a period of time, we realized that it has to be much more scientific. So we started to bring in the concepts of, say, neurology. If you were to ask me what in neuroscience, that would be one question. So we started looking at how the neuroplasticity, how mirror neurons, how amygdala hijack, all mindfulness, neurotransmitters, all that can be an aid to make a learning L&D initiatives much more meaningful, impactful. And we are of course, we cannot say that we have mastered all this science or we have mastered, but we are in the process of having more and more input design based on these concepts.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, sir, because when you start understanding what is happening inside us, like mindfulness, when we are talking about it, when once the person or the employee is able to manage himself, his emotions very well, that is when obviously the collective response that we are seeing, it's going to be more productive. So that is a very good point that you've put forward. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, sir. So, following up on, like you mentioned, that learning has it's changed, a lot, and especially with the pandemic happening, we've seen major transformations, and you've mentioned artificial intelligence, virtual reality. So, how have these, even mindfulness for that matter, so how have these had an impact on, at an individual level and at an organizational level? How has this whole learning, impacted the world, I would say?
See, if I have to start from organizational aspect, as I told you, that we had to run our business, and it was very challenging. Even to move out of the house was not so easy, and more so when the entire world is inside house. And if if the say one member of the household he is going out, imagine the kind of pressure he would be getting, feeling from members of the family, well-wishers, how come you are going? I mean, all that sort of things. But still, I mean, we are thankful to our employees and we are grateful to them that they braved all this kind of session. And this all happened, why? Because yes, they have always been committed. They could see the bigger picture. They could see the larger cause. And at the same time, the assurance that yes, if anything goes wrong, company is going to stand behind me rock solid. And this happened not only in one incident, wherever it was required all along. And so that, and how we at the same time, so we anyway we had a wonderful health policy. Still we looked at whatever tweaking was required, we did it before anyone could come and ask us if we needed this help or that help. We tied up with all kind of hospitals, doctors, and and in terms of L&D, we rolled out best in class health programs, wellness programs, you will be, I mean, it's a matter of pride for us to say that it starts event today at 6:30. Our online live yoga session starts from HPMDA Pune, and it is beamed across for anyone of our employees and their families to keep themselves healthy and fit to face the challenges. And in terms of L&D, we sat out that what we need to do in this current challenge, and we decided that no, we need to have probably and we decided amongst ourselves that we will have 3 lakh training hours for our employees. And so far, as of September, I am proud to say that we have already achieved about 1.5 lakh hours of training, and that includes training on our business related, because our trainings are basically designed along our strategic business outcomes. So even our business outcomes changed. So when business outcomes changed due to pandemic, we had to, this L&D content had to change. So that had to be with the help of subject matter experts. We redesigned the program, and we, when you know, like our programs are also, it is when we are designing our program, how do we design that? One of the question. So we have a 4D approach. We diagnose what is the problem, then we design a, then we do the diagnostic, then we do the designing, and then we later on we see what best has what best has been done and what is required to be done. And then it has also been like this L&D initiatives always has been you know, like a need based as well, and at the same time career stage specific programs, like for new joinees, then for middle managers, for senior managers, for top managers, and all that happened. And also one thing which I would like to say, that um, we give a focus, and we realize that in this new normal, it is difficult to sit for longer hours. So 8 hours of training or 6 hours of training. So most of the time, that's why we changed our even number. We said that we'll have shorter programs of 2 hours, 3 hours, and made it more interesting. And we introduced this gamification, and then we used and always we have made sure that whatever we are doing, it is aligned around our competency framework, be it behavioral competency, be it technical competency, and that really helped us. And as I told you earlier, that yes, we always we focused on push and pull approaches. And then another thing what we did, that we rolled out a dashboard where not only the programs were with the help of smart technology, what we are doing, that when you are logging in, depending upon your role, depending upon your stage in the organization, those programs pop up. And then we are also using the sociology sociology based knowledge, and that the programs which are popular, they will pop up first. So employees see, oh, these programs are gaining traction, so why not I also do? So all that, I mean, science, we are trying to use it. And anyway, all of us know what is the ADDIE principle, so that is also in use. And that's all.
So that's a wonderful, sir. That's really wonderful. And I'm sure, sir, if the employees are, were able to perform so well, even in this times of, pandemic, it is only because maybe the leaders like you were quite clear on what you really want, on what you're expecting from the employees. So you were clear on what the vision is and what the bigger picture is. So that is why employees were confident enough that,
No,
they just
I think I know it's
you.
not people like me, it's our top management, and particularly people who are at the forefront, those who are delivering. Yes, but I'm proud to say that as a company, we did exceptionally well in terms of top line and bottom line. And the first 6 months H1 results, I mean, have probably beaten all kind of records.
Yes, sir. So, sir, now that you've mentioned about that, earlier you had 1 week programs, and then slowly you have shortened it out to, 1 hour or 2 hour programs. That, like, from macro learning to micro learning, like
Yes.
anytime approachable. So coming to that, sir, so what are the new initiatives that you're working on for the employees? And are you leveraging on the advanced technologies? You have already mentioned about AI. So, technologies like LMS to ensure that, the initiatives are effective and efficient as well for the employees and for the organization as well.
Yeah, yeah. So see again, like see, not only AI, like as I told you, we are AR, VR, we are using most of our safety related programs, and then what we are doing, even like earlier also we had this tie-up with EBSCO, like which is probably I'm sure nowadays almost every company or every employee will be having. But what we are doing different is like every week we are pushing like video of the week on a relevant topic, and more usually it's a TED talk or TED video or whatever it is. So that, and as I told you that in this new normal, we cannot bring the employees to at work corner. So that's another challenge, like distraction. Even when I'm talking and I'm getting alerts on my mobile. So how can I make this learning so interesting? And so it has to be, we call you, I'm sure as a L&D professional would have heard that virtual instruction-led programming. So whatever programs we are conducting, we are trying to see that more and more involvement programs are not only of shorter duration, but it's micro learning, but it's also very interesting. And employees and each and everything will happen only when employees see a value proposition. What is in it for me? So we make sure that we clearly communicate the objective, and we say that at the end of the program, you are going to achieve objective 1, 2, 3, 4. And another thing is that when we say that programs of 90 minutes or 120 minutes, we are introducing the concept of gamification. We are also trying to see, I mean, we are of course at the nascent stage, how can we use the data science and blockchain technology in terms of, particularly we are interesting, and we are exciting to see that how we can use blockchain technology in terms of, training need identification or things like that. So, but at just a very nascent stage, I cannot say that just we are trying to tap up the experts in this field. We do not have in-house expertise in this field, so it's a bit early to talk about.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. And I just have another question. Like you have mentioned about neuroscience, and then you have mentioned about other things. So, where do you think emotional intelligence and how it can be used? And if the leaders have to develop some sort of competency, according to you,
Yeah.
what would be those competencies be?
This is interesting. In fact, I told you about neuroscience, and I also talked about amygdala hijack. So how do you counter that? For that, you have to have emotional intelligence. And we strongly feel as a company that any leader or any middle manager, unless you are having your awareness of your own emotions, you cannot deal in this world. You cannot perform. You cannot be a leader. You cannot be a manager. You leave aside, you cannot be a good human being. Even at home front, you need to have this awareness. So as a company, these programs are very popular, and we run out these programs regularly, and we see to it that our employees are more and more aware, and the practice. Being aware is one part, and being able to practice is even more difficult. So we always, our endeavor is that yes, our employees should be able to practice and demonstrate this knowledge, and being aware of how do I behave and how do I react when I'm confronted with a serious situation, or when a situation is not favorable as per my expectation. And as coming to what are the behaviors or what are the competencies of a leader in this new normal, I would say probably I would say that apart from one has to be very one has to have this ability to not only act in this quickly take a decision, and you have to, because whatever you had planned 6 months ago or 8 months ago, it changed. So today a leader has to have that kind of empathy. He has to have very humbleness. He has to have a very you know ability to accept that yes, this could be done, this cannot be done, or how I as a leader chip in where my team is not able to focus on, or my, and many times probably now. And one more thing what has happened, that as a leader you cannot have a long term, I mean very focused only on long term strategic objectives. You have also have to see because of this every time it's changing, changes are happening so fast, we never know, we don't know that when what is going to happen next month or 2 months down. So you have to have your so one has to have very humility, high level of humility in self, and display that, and at the same time have equally focused on short-term objectives to balance between the new normal and the regular distance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Praveen. Actually, this has been, the interaction that and the points that you have shared has actually brought in the human and the technology together, right? Both of
Yes.
when they start working together, I'm sure it's going to do wonders. And then, yes, the emotional well-being of the employees is something which is my takeaway from this, interaction that I'm having now. Thank you so much for taking out time and then from your busy schedule and then joining us for this interview today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
It
much,
was a
sir.
great pleasure, Anuradha. It was a great pleasure, Shivika. I'm thankful to both of you to give me an opportunity to share what I feel personally. Whatever I have said, it not necessarily probably reflect my company's views to a large extent, yes, but definitely whatever I have shared, it was my personal views as well. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Definitely.
And wish you all
Definitely.
a safe coming season.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.